So it looks like some of the development is a little bit random, and that is going to make this so much more exciting because we're going to see random states probably do pretty well here. So I think this is a good time to go ahead and check on the current most developed states, provinces, and countries throughout the world, because we will see old world countries in here. We've got Ming and the Timurids at number 1, number 2. We've got Castile at number 3, Lithuania, Muscovy, then France, the big blue blob, all the way real down low, Poland. But in terms of the actual SuperStates mod, I think the number 1 most developed is Texas. Okay, so that's not a big surprise. They're at 155, unless I'm missing one, which I don't think I am. But yeah, Texas at 155. Who's number 2? We've got New York at 131. Okay, that's somewhat normal. You know, Virginia here 126. Quebec at 117. Missouri. Now, that is because Missouri is going nuts. And also, expect New York to drop quite a bit because I think they're going to lose their war in the Northeast. It definitely seems like that. Jalisco in Mexico. I think that is the top Mexican state so far that we've seen, in terms of development at least. Nevada at 108. Pennsylvania at 102. Washington at 100. California. Look at that. Look at that, California. And I've got some California bias. I'm from California, so I'd like to see a good California, but not really. I'd like California to stay in the game, but I don't really want them to run away with the victory. So to see them at 97 development is pretty funny. I think that's pretty good. Because I would like to see something kind of come out of the Pacific that's not Californian. I think that'd be really interesting. Anyways, no, I'm sorry. I've been neglecting Australia. I'm sorry, Australia. I need to pay more attention to you. But there hasn't really been any wars that have taken place down here, right? Yeah. So there's a reason why I haven't really been able to check in, and that's just their lack of wars. Actually, you know what? Wait, did you always start off like that? Yeah, you did. The Australian capital, which I think the Australian capital's territory ended up doing, I thought, pretty well in the last series, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, let's zoom back in here. There's tons of wars going on still. Off the top of my head, the most... Oh, look at that. Alberta just got eaten up. But at the end of the day, I mean, well, let's see. You only gained 3 tiles, but in a map like this, where most people only have 3 to 4 tiles, getting 3 or 4 additional tiles is a pretty big deal. So that will be something to keep in mind. Now, I expect Utah to lose this Colorado territory. I don't see them getting rid of the Colorado separatists. So with time, I'm not sure if the AI gets any additional bonuses. I know as a human player, if you allow these provinces to be sieged by a separatist country within a few months, if you don't do something about it, if you don't clear out all these sieges, they will break free, whether you want them to or not. Not sure if the AI gets different bonuses, and they totally might, to make sure the AI stays intact. There's Virginia. There's our new Virginia. So they weren't even nice about it. West Virginia took 2 tiles away from Ohio, and then Virginia just ate all of it. Just bam, it's all gone. So keep in mind, Virginia now has claims on Tennessee instead of Kentucky, since Tennessee is... Wait a second, did Tennessee lose something? No, they're still the same size. So we're starting to see some interesting states grow. Virginia just became really powerful, but because they kind of waited, it was kind of a sloppy way to do it, kind of a messed up way to do it, but yeah, they just grabbed 5 provinces out of that. I can't help but say provinces and tiles. I flip back and forth because I'm so used to saying provinces. Yeah, I'm expecting New York to lose a lot here. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Quebec even joins in. But I predicted Quebec to go to war in the last video, and I was completely wrong. That did not end up happening. Northwestern territories have now been eaten up. Yukon's still alive. They're dealing with some separatists, though. Yukon, I mean. Alaska is coming back to stop Yukon since most of their other wars are over. Alberta, you done goofed. You done goofed. There's only a handful of, really powerful provinces anymore in Canada. Is Texas out of this war? Yeah, so Missouri. Oh, no, this is still going on against Iowa. So what's happening? How close is Iowa to falling. Let's check their forts. They got one. So when we're seeing Missouri, who's already really powerful, going after the only fort they have under Iowa territory. What's going on here? I see some movement. Yep, that's what I thought. So Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Utah, who's already pretty distracted. Now, if they're lucky, if Utah is lucky, Montana will come by and attack the Separatists for them. That does happen, and that might happen in this scenario. What is this? Let me guess. South Dakota declared on Nebraska. Since there are like 18 regiments here trying to siege out Nebraska, that would make sense. At least Nebraska has a fort. Oh, it's gone. And it's gone. So, yeah, Nebraska's out of the war. Now South Dakota just has to worry about... Well, now they have to worry... Wyoming and South Dakota now just have to watch Utah and Montana. Utah already not in the best of positions. Did they end up losing a battle? See, that's the difference, is Wyoming and South Dakota ended up uniting. That comes into play hugely. If you have a war going on, and maybe there's 4 alliances, but they're all spread out and they can't group together against like 2 states that are like South Dakota and Wyoming right there next to each other, if they group their regiments together, it's so much harder to beat a country like that. Because they'll just go around, winning battles and battles. They'll win enough war score until, they crush the manpower of the opposing team. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if there's going to be a small, like, one province minor nation out of Alberta and British Columbia. That might be interesting, maybe. Yukon doing great. Yukon doing work so far, and they're going after Anchorage. Only like 3 provinces remaining for Alaska, at least in their home territory. Oh, but Alaska's working on the unsieging here. Now, Yukon only has one thing. Like, all Alaska needs to do is siege out their one tile. And then, boom, you're good. Then, boom, you're good. Oh, that is interesting. Where did they add that? Skip to the next song. I don't know. I'm getting distracted right now. But that is probably the most exciting thing I've seen. No, I'm just kidding. This is pretty awesome. I'm actually going to speed it up to speed 4. I want to see what's going to happen with New York. Which somehow, New York lost Erie here. I mean, Pennsylvania lost this siege. They had occupation over it, but not anymore. Well, Pennsylvania's going back after it. And boom. All right, so 2 provinces. That's not too bad. No, 3. They actually grabbed 3. 1 that's not even connected to their territory. So, boom, there's 3. We also have New York, who has pieced out with... Wow, wait, are you telling me that Massachusetts didn't take anything? That is interesting. New York still controls New York Island, or New York City. I'm really surprised that Massachusetts or New Hampshire didn't take anything. This could have been way worse. Oh, now New Jersey attacking New York. All right, so New Jersey might have an interesting time, because New York already has just been crushed by multiple states. So we could see Jersey walk in there and take a lot more. So New York might lose even more in this scenario. Looks like there's a second war in the Deep South. Yes, there is. Tennessee back in battle. Oklahoma, let's see, is this one giant war? It's almost one giant war. There's 2 separate ones because Virginia and Florida aren't technically working together. Texas and Florida still allied. Keep that in mind. That's going to be huge for later. And there is technically a connection here. Very small, but they can walk through this between Garland and, is it Craighead? Craighead? Something like that. So somebody, one of these big states that have blobbed out, I think is going to lose a lot of territory. Whether that be Virginia or Tennessee, I think one of these 2 is going to lose stuff here. Let's check on the West Coast. Seems like everything is normal here. Utah's still at war, though. Let's see here. Who's this? Wyoming, South Dakota, really working on Montana. Montana controlling quite a few provinces, actually. And they're going after the fort. Is this their capital as well? I'm guessing so. Yeah, obviously, if they only have 1 fort, Drew, that's probably going to be on their capital. almost guaranteed to be on their capital. Okay, so now Alaska's getting smart. So now they're going after Yukon's one-tile province. And boom, they just got it right now. So this is going to force Yukon to go back and unsiege this. It's going to force them into battle. Whoever wins this small battle, which it looks like there's going to be a slight number advantage for Alaska, but that won't ultimately be much. Depends on who's going to be the offensive and the defensive. I think that's going to be what the real question is going to be. Don't see, Alaska's just sitting there. What are you doing? Oh, Alaska's at war with Washington. That's a problem. Oh, you're done. You're done. Washington's got a 14 stack here. Oh, yep. That's not going to be good. They've both got pretty good amount of pretty good fleet size, though. What's this one ship doing? Anyways, yeah. So we've got a 14 stack moving up, looking like they're going to try to crush the Alaskan force. So I think Alaska's going to get pushed out of British Columbian territory, only for that to be taken by Washington. What? Oh, Montana just lost two tiles to South Dakota. Now the final war will be for Utah. So South Dakota is going to take not only 2 tiles from Montana, not only from Nebraska, but we might even see them take stuff from Utah, or at least Wyoming take. Yeah, Wyoming has the claims here. So I think South Dakota is just, being a good friend. Yep, and you know what? Those Colorado separatists were crushed, either due to an opposing force or due to an alliance member crushing them for them. I think it was due to an opposing force, so we will not see an independent Colorado, unless, of course, South Dakota asks for it. Nope, they don't even want to mess with Utah, so Utah is going to remain, and South Dakota just grabbed 3 tiles. So they're starting to obviously look really good. How's Nevada? Nevada staying quiet. Where is Yukon? All right, so Yukon pieced out, and they just grabbed themselves. Look at that. I mean, we got a one-province minor state here. One state minor, should I say that? One tile minor, since I'm switched. I don't know. Either way, they just grabbed 2 extra tiles, and that's awesome in their position, especially fighting an Alaska that was looking pretty powerful at a certain time there. How many states are down here, or how many provinces? Quite a few, actually. I don't think Washington will be able to take them all, but they'll be able to take close to it. This is interesting. Washington's still allied to California, I'm guessing? Yeah, so that's what's going to keep them safe. Their alliances with Montana and British Columbia now weaker than ever, though, so that will be interesting to watch over that and kind of see how that takes place. Iowa ended up taking things away from Wisconsin. I thought that would be the other way around because Missouri was just to the south. That did not end up happening, though. Wisconsin now 2 provinces. Maybe Minnesota. Does Minnesota not like Wisconsin? Yeah. So we might see something happen there. Minnesota looks like they're already eating Wisconsin already, like a little face here. Nom nom nom. Bama just lost territory, and they now just have Mobile and Jefferson. Mississippi's still at war. Oh, okay, so Mississippi ate the final province of Louisiana. Now they're still at war with Alabama, with Florida's help. And we've got Tennessee going back to normal. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look how much Tennessee lost. Tennessee with just Shelby, Pike, and Franklin. It was actually Indiana that took some stuff away. Mississippi gained, Mississippi, Virginia, and Mississippi. And North Carolina all took away this territory from Tennessee. Illinois, what you doing? Illinois, actually, did they always lose this? I thought Indiana might have just recently grabbed that from them. Not entirely sure though. Did Jersey end up taking? No, Jersey ended up looking like they lost a few things. Yes, they did. So New York bounced back for the most part. For the most part, they bounced back. Is Georgia also? Who is this occupation? This is Mississippi. Okay, that looks like Georgia. All right, so the Deep South just radically changed. The borders of the Deep South look pretty different at this point. What about, is there anything happening in Mexico? I didn't even mention this, but yeah, Sonora took the Northern Territory in Baja California. Well, they still have a, is this TJ right here? Yeah, Tijuana. Yeah, so, yeah, Baja still has Tijuana, but that's it. And Ensenada. And then Baja Sur, which are they still allied, Baja and Baja Sur? They are. How is California allied to Baja Sur? Oh, and Baja California. Okay, so they allied to both. Washington still is not pieced out, but this is going to be, I think, a very interesting moment here to see what Washington takes from Alaska, because they might be able to take a whole bunch. A whole bunch. All right. It looks like this is like this weird graphical glitch that's going on in Pennsylvania, so it's kind of confusing. Let me check on some of these wars. Still a lot of nations still left in the old world. A lot of the small guys haven't been eaten up yet, so this screen is going to be kind of confusing at first, but it'll get better. Quebec is finally at war. With who? New Brunswick. All right, so that's not, well, that's kind of surprising. New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. So, if this goes the way that we're thinking, and if Quebec takes a lot from New Brunswick here, then yeah, I think that the Canadian overlords will begin their rule over Northeast U.S. territory. Like, well, I mean, the main part of it at least, and technically this is under New Brunswick, but I'm just saying that will be the beginning of Quebec, I think, controlling United States territory. Theoretically. I know the United States are not a part of this, it's just states, but you know what I mean. Wait a second, okay, so Tennessee's not even done. Like, people are still at war with Tennessee, and they might lose even more. Oh, is it just, oh, maybe not. How is Arkansas at 2 tiles able to beat Tennessee and Oklahoma? Arkansas is at 7, Oklahoma's at 3. Oh my goodness. So maybe we're going to see a comeback from Arkansas. It looks like it. Washington pieced out and actually gave a lot back to their friend British Columbia. That's so nice of Washington. Look how cute that is. Real cute. Well, I mean, they took, Vancouver and Victoria. Yeah, Vancouver and Victoria. Took 2 things, and they gave British Columbia back their land. That's going to make British Columbia love Washington, like, forever. Maybe not forever, but for a really long time. I figured they'd take a little bit more there. I'm kind of surprised. Okay, so what's going on here in the Northeast? Doesn't seem like there's any dominant power. Is it over? It's over just like that? It is. Look at this alliance, though. Quebec is allied to New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Jersey. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to see what happens to Tennessee in the next one, as well as if Arkansas is going to become this major power, because it kind of looks like it. And boom, yes, Bama's gone, sandwiched in between Mississippi and Georgia. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, there's finally a war going on. Okay, cool. I'll see you guys next time.